Good morning everybody and welcome to today's vlog. Today I'll be showing you my outfit of the day, which is for the biggest social event of the year, medicines information. So today I have half a day in hospital. So I was like, yeah, let me film, because you know when you're like full on the wards all day in scrubs and stuff, there's nothing to film and I wouldn't want to take my camera onto the wards, like due to like infection control purposes and confidentiality reasons and stuff. Today I literally got up like an hour ago. I have had my oral iron, I've had my multivitamin, I haven't eaten anything. I didn't eat any breakfast today because I'm trying not to overeat, which I've been doing a lot at home lately. So I was like, you know, I'm just gonna skip breakfast today. I know it's like the most important meal of the day or whatever, but I'm sure that I am going to be fine today. That's literally all I've done. And now I'm about to go to work. So this is my gorgeous dress and it's from Rice. I think that's how they say it. And yeah, it's lovely. I know it's a bit wasted on work, but I'm not going to be on the wards today. As I've told you, I'll just be in medicines information. So that is why I'm wearing this. So I'm sure that I can tell you this because this is not that confidential, and the doctor's also doing the same thing. We are currently split into two teams and we're trying to like increase the social distancing between us and like try and keep team A separate from team B, so that if team A gets sick then team B doesn't get sick. Like that's the idea of it. I guess they're just trying to limit the amount of people in the department and then limit our contact as well, which makes sense. But obviously that means that for me right now I'm working a lot less hours than I'm contracted to. So I think they're just finding like jobs here and there, and today they were like, oh, do you want to come and start getting trained on MI? And MI, I'm not gonna lie, it really is not my favourite thing. I've had a few MI rotations. Yeah, I'm not really all about sitting on a computer and like trying to find the answers to stuff. I really just like talking to people and doing meds recs and like running around on the wards and stuff and like being super like active, like physically active I mean. But I think MI is really mentally active and you've got to really think and like find the answers and stuff, which is not my biggest, I don't know, strength. So I don't know how it's going to be like, and I've already had my training before at my previous trust on Michael and stuff, so I don't know whether I'm going to enjoy it. But I was like, well, at least I have the option of going in, and at least they've given me the choice, and I can actually leave the house, which is a gift in this time. I'm so obsessed with the gold colour block on these shoes. This is my backpack that I usually take to work, and the reason I take this backpack, although everyone takes like designer bags and stuff, is because I can actually steam wash it. So I take this, but I just really don't think that's gonna go today, do you? With my outfit. So I'm gonna go for my alternative, which I've ordered from ASOS. It's this Valentino bag that I ordered from ASOS. Actually, I mean, I know it would go with my outfit, but now I'm having second thoughts because it's not exactly infection control. I've just gone for this backpack, which I've had forever. I feel like I'm definitely going to be stopped today and someone's going to be like, is this essential travel? Are you essential? Because this is definitely not the essential look, is it? The door and found these flowers. I'm totally going to be late. Like, actually, it's to lunch. I promised some of the teenagers that I'd have lunch with them, but I can't just leave these not inside water. So, just opening them now. Oh my gosh, they're so nice! They're so nice! And some chocolates. They're so nice. I'm sure there'll be a note. Oh, like a ray of sunshine, warm and bright. Hope these flowers light up your day. Lots of love from Hyunbin, which is my favourite actor in Korea. So clearly, and the only person who knows that this is my favourite actor in Korea is Maria, so thank you so much. Thank you so much, Maria. These are absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait to see you once this whole thing is over. So I've had like 4 days off work in a row right now, and what saved me is actually listening to music. I just feel like music is just such a nice way to relax, but also, like yesterday I was literally sat in my room with music on my speakers and doing nothing else, and it felt so nice. I really recommend that you share playlists with each other, share playlists with me. I am happy to listen to any kind of new music right now. I'm open to everything, so if you've got stuff that you think is amazing, then please let me know.
me in your vlog.
Yeah, so where are we right now?
We are in the first class lounge area of the
Wow.
So it really feels like we are in the first class lounge of the airport.
So what's the concept of this? Because I didn't know about it until now.
So, I don't actually know 100%, but my take on it is obviously COVID is a really hard time for everybody, especially airlines suffering. Especially airlines suffering. So I guess it's a way to like help us here, like within the NHS, but also help them and keep them sane because they are still essentially doing their jobs, but instead of being on a plane.
So this is the canteen, but they've just kind of converted this area, haven't they?
I mean, this was the canteen, but it's now a first class.
Okay, fine. Yes, now it's a first class lounge. We've got our little, what is it? This tablecloth thing.
Yeah, we have. Oh God, this is VIP.
How are you doing, Bunty?
I'm okay. I've brought my own fruit into the first
There's always
class
one.
lounge.
There's always one sneaking their own food into the first class
She
lounge.
would save herself if a ship was sinking.
Oh my goodness, it's for them.
Wow, wait, you have to put the cake beside it.
Wow, amazing. And this is free. Lovely.
Would you like anything else?
I might save
I'll
it.
move around. Would you like anything on your side?
No, thank you.
So I'm actually back home now, and I just wanted to explain what that whole canteen situation was. So there's this project going on called Project Wingman, which I had absolutely no idea about, and obviously the pre-reg just told me about it. It's basically a project where people who work in aviation have volunteered to set up first class lounges in canteens, I think across London hospitals, but I know for sure in my hospital. And it's just a chance, I think, for them to kind of help us and give us the service that they think we might need. You know, it's just nice to have someone say like, would you like a cup of coffee or a tea? And then they just get it to you. So I guess it's just a chance for like NHS staff to go and relax in this first class lounge that's actually the canteen. And so that is what you saw earlier on. Then I had a MI induction. And like I said in this morning's video, MI is not really my thing. I'm not too fond of MI. However, the induction was so helpful because, again, it's just recapping what sources are available, because in pharmacy you don't need to memorize everything, but you kind of should know where you're looking for information. And I think that it was a really good whistle-stop tour of everything that I need to know like quickly during this crisis and for on-call and for my diploma. So yeah, I thought that was really helpful. So I was actually really surprised. I thought that they would sort of sit me down and be like, this is how you're gonna have to answer inquiries, this is how you're gonna have to use databank, whatever. But it wasn't like that at all. It was just like recapping what sources that are available to me. So I found that very helpful. Okay, so I 2 days ago had an hour telephone consultations with 2 of my viewers, and they were both like separate consultations. And one of my viewers wanted help on applications because she was getting rejected from hospitals, like not even asked for interview. The other viewer had issues during interview, so she would make it to interview, but then in the interview it flop and then she'd get rejected from the hospital. So I thought today that I would talk quickly about my application. So the reason why I'm not making a separate video on this is because I'm not the person on the other end. I'm not a senior pharmacist who sat there like reading these applications. I'm just the band 6 junior pharmacist who is going to tell you what applications were successful for me and how I got interview. So yeah, it's really just talking you through my application, and I know that everyone's application is going to be different and that everyone's going to have different stuff to say and everyone's going to have different experiences, etc, 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 etc. But I thought it would still be helpful for you guys who are coming from community, for example, because really no one guides you on the application process. Like, we get so much training from university about like clinical knowledge and all of this stuff, but then actually, you know, who's going to help you in the application process? Me. So I have my laptop here and I'm just going to tell you about what I wrote in my application. So this is going to be about applications and not about interview. Oh, one thing I'm quickly going to say, which I always say in my videos, is really stop comparing yourself. I know it's really easy to be like, someone's got a job, someone doesn't, someone got interview, I didn't, someone's doing STEP, I'm not, someone's doing residency, I'm not, someone's in hospital, I'm in community, etc. But that is all just bullshit noise. You don't need to think about it. You don't need to focus on it. You are on your own journey, right? I was on my own journey. It was so much easier once I left all of the university group chats and stuff, and I was like, what do I actually want? And I really thought about it, and that's how I made that transition into where I am now, which I'm absolutely loving. I really enjoy my job right now. So yeah, quickly just telling you that. Okay, so I'm going to talk about my application that got me into the hospital that I'm working for now. At the time that I wrote the application, I had been qualified for, I think, 6 months. So if you haven't been qualified and you're applying from pre-reg, obviously your application might look a little bit different to mine, and that is fine. Okay, so let's talk about this step by step. So personal information, that's just your information as to your telephone number, your personal details, whatever. The qualifications section, I wrote my A-levels and my MPharm degree result down, like whether I got a first, second, whatever. And then I put, for relevant training courses attended, I put all of the ones that I achieved on CPPE. So I did EHC, MUR, repeat dispensing, counselling skills, new medicine service, dementia, and first aid as well. And that wasn't through CPPE, that was through the ambulance service. So yeah, I basically wrote all of that on there. And I think that, I know that not everyone will add that, but if you can do extra courses on CPPE in your own time, there's no harm in it. It's only going to help you. So if you've done some, then add them in. Then employment history. Okay, so in employment history, I've got a few questions from a few of my viewers, and they've written, what do I write in this bit? And it says brief description of your duties and responsibilities. So in this section, I've tried to remain as concise and to the point as possible. I've actually put it in bullet points. So I put assisted the MI manager 3 days a week to answer blah, 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 blah. Became compatible with MI data bank system. Covered the MI manager, blah, blah. Covered dispensary 2 days a week and checked Z tasks, which is the clozapine system thing. As you can tell, it's not about thoughts and feelings, and it doesn't go excessively on. It's just very much what I did and how I did it, and that is it. And I think that that is sufficient. I have written every hospital that I've ever done something in, and I would really advise that as you move from hospital to hospital or rotation to rotation or whatever, that you write down a paragraph of what you've done in that hospital and try and keep it fresh, because once you go from rotation to rotation, you'll forget. So when you are going from rotation to rotation, the good idea is to write it down. But yeah, in this section, I've tried to remain as concise as possible. You know, really, this is just a chance for them to get a brief overview of where you've worked, and you shouldn't really be duplicating this in your next section. So let me move on. Oh, obviously referees are referees. Okay, now a lot of people are asking me about supporting information. So let me tell you what I've written in my supporting information for the hospital that I'm working for now. Okay, so the first sentence I've written is why I want to work for that hospital, and it's very simple. I put, I'm applying for this post at Foundation Trust because I truly miss working in an acute hospital environment. Bam. That tells you why I want to work there. Since graduating with a first class honours at King's College London and completing a split pre-registration placement, I passed the GPHC exam and began working at an acute general hospital. I absolutely loved the fast-paced environment and challenge of ward-based pharmacy and was subsequently accepted onto the University of Sunderland diploma. However, after 6 months, I left this post to move to London. As a current rotational pharmacist at Mental Health Trust, I've adapted to the transition and enjoy the experience that mental health offers. However, I feel that a broader range of knowledge regarding physical health is required before specialism. Working at would guarantee that exposure to physical health whilst providing the opportunity for specialist knowledge, e.g. HIV pharmacy. So, I've written exactly why I want to work there, why I want to move from the place I am now, and how I hope to achieve that. And yeah, it tells you briefly about my pre-reg, it tells you about where I graduated from. So I've given, I think, quite a nice overview of what I've achieved so far. It's very general. I would really recommend that you make your first paragraph stand out, because, you know, they read so many applications, and if you're just like, I am a pre-reg community, I would like to go to hospital, it's not really that unique. Think about how you can get as much of your achievements in that first paragraph, and that makes it unique and interesting about you, something that no one else would have. So obviously I had a pre-reg that was split, which is interesting. I said exactly that I was accepted onto a diploma, and I said that I moved to a mental health trust, and I said why I want to move from that mental health trust. So I think it's just given a nice overview. Then I said why I differ from other candidates, and I said I talked about my locum shifts and how many shifts I've done across the UK. So at that point I'd done over 70 shifts. So I've written that. And I also did some online webinars and this channel. So I kind of wrote like that I like to guide newly qualified pharmacists into whichever direction that they're trying to get into. So I've written a bit about that. Again, very different. Then I have split my application into 4 sections. So the first section I talk about acute hospital experience and what I've learned there. The second bit I've written about is mental health and what I did and what I learned there. The third section is community, and the fourth section was extracurricular. The extracurricular still involves pharmacy, so I was able to present my final year project in Sweden and the US. So I talked about that, so that's still pharmacy related, but I've also talked about stuff that's not pharmacy related. And I know that not all people like split like subheadings in their application, but me personally, if I came across like a massive block of writing, I'd be like, oh, here we go, here's another application. But if you're splitting it into like sections that you've had experience in, I don't think that that's a bad idea either. And it worked. Like I got the interview and then I got the job. So yeah, it depends on what you think is fitting. Those kind of sections are pretty much standard throughout my applications that I've sent to different hospitals. But the last final paragraph, I always kind of try and implement the trust values in there. So I try and say, look, this is my application and all of this combines together and it makes me, for example, motivated, respect other people, and I don't know, professional. For example, like if those were the examples of my trust. So I always end with the trust values. And what I do know is that when senior pharmacists read these applications, they are grading against the person specification thing. I think it's called the person specification. Yeah, it's a person specification, yeah. So they have a set sort of list of characteristics and qualifications that are essential or desirable, and they will be grading you against that. So keep that in mind as you write the application. Yeah, I think that's about it. So in concise terms, because that was a bit of a ramble, what I'm trying to say is, in that first paragraph, try and say all your like really high main achievements and just bam, put that in, try and get their attention. What makes you different to other candidates, right? Put it in there. Then I split my application into sections as to, you know, what different areas of experience that I have. And then obviously within those sections, I've tried to think about the essential and desirable qualities that were in the person specification of the job. And I add in extracurricular because I think that's important. How are you coping with stress, or how are you doing stuff outside of pharmacy that makes you a better pharmacist? And the last section, I always write about trust values. So that is how I've written my applications. Usually I basically have luck with my applications. I think that my applications are never really my weakest point. My interviews are my weakest point. So that is a different story. In the upcoming videos, I have decided to interview Kat, who is a pre-reg, and she has been doing a range of different interviews across hospitals in London, and she said that she'd be happy to film, and I'm going to be asking her questions as to how she prepared for those interviews, what came up, and stuff like that. So this video, this back end of this video was more to do with my application that was successful. I hope that that was helpful. Today was just a kind of easy breezy vlog that ended up including some pharmacist stuff, so I hope you don't mind. I hope that everyone is staying safe and healthy. I want to just thank everyone really quickly for getting me to 1,000 subscribers. I always read everyone's comments and I do try and get back and reply to everyone, so thanks a lot. I get quite a few ideas from my viewers as well as to what videos they think would be useful, so if you've got any ideas then let me know, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
Bye to all my subscribers!